Nugget.
Nuggets with Sharon and Johnny.
How can white and non-black folks educate themselves? And when is it appropriate to ask black folks for guidance and education? I mean, I makes me want to cry, man. Because like white people are so lost.
Yeah.
Like I just ah, and it's not a black person's job, but it's just like I don't think black people realize that white people are. I mean, I talk a lot about like I give the analogy of like babies eating carrots. I feel like if you give like a fucking like a a 2-month old a carrot and you're like, eat this, and they're like I have slobber on my hands now. Like they can't eat that shit. And I'm not trying to make excuses for white people, but I'm just trying to be realistic.
Yeah.
Like y'all are babies. Like y'all don't know how to do this shit. And like
Yeah.
whereas like black people are like eating filet mignon. They're
Yeah.
like they got salad with
Yeah.
like
Yes.
croutons and
Yes.
like
All kinds
like
of spices.
toasted walnuts
Yeah.
whole. They're
Yeah.
like chopped. They're whole, and we chewing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're we're Bugs Bunny up in this bitch. And like white people are like
Yeah.
they're like, they're like, and then so I imagine that a baby would take a fucking carrot and just slobber all over it and then become frustrated because like they're hungry and they can't eat this carrot, so then they cry and then the fucking mom puts a
Yeah.
goddamn pacifier in and then they're done
Yeah.
and then they take a nap.
Yeah. Fall asleep, yep, and pooping in their sleep. Yeah, yeah. No,
And then
no, no. While the grown-ups gotta do the work,
that baby gonna
while the
starve.
grown-ups gotta clean the house, and the grown-ups gotta like go out and earn the income while the babies are just sleeping in their little sweet little cribs.
And you just keep
No
feeding
more.
carrots to the goddamn baby, that baby will starve unless you give them like Gerber or Similac or whatever the fuck. So I'm just like,
We gotta keep that. Yeah. Yeah, we need to become self-sufficient.
I'm asking what I'm about to say is so unpopular because you're asking someone who feels and that's just one form of fear. Like there's the police like spine multifidi gripping for me, for other people it manifests elsewhere. There's like the continuous dials that I have, there's like the microaggressions, there's the hashtags, there's uh like incarceration. There's just so much to deal with when you're black. And
Mhm.
so for me to ask black people to be patient,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't know if I
Mm-mm.
can ask that of us.
No. No.
You can ask it of me though.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I don't know why I feel like I'm in a place where I can really, where I want to give babies like their fucking split pea shit in a jar, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why
Yeah.
I'm in that place. But
Sure.
I'd rather like I'm personally, like ask me and like, I don't know how long this patience will last. Ask me
Yeah.
like in 3 months and I'd about to be like, oh fuck all y'all. But like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like right now, the way I see it, I'd rather overextend a little bit
Okay.
and give you some like split pea Gerber shit and maybe like a fruit cup, and then maybe you can build to some spaghetti, and then
Yeah.
maybe to like some animal crackers. I'd rather
Yeah.
walk that process with you than like
Yeah.
have you invalidate my experience.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oof.
That's
Oof.
where I am.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's like two things that are like you got to do. You got to do, and it's been being done to you.
I
But
know.
that's generous. I think that's. I mean, I think that's so generous, and I think that you should always have the chance to step out at any point. You know, like at any point, you should be able to walk out and be like, "I'm done for now. I may come back. Who knows?" And I don't think anyone should be going after you, judging you. Should just be gracious, grateful for the time that you were willing to be patient.
I, you
Because
know,
we can figure out how to do that. We can figure out how to get ourselves to solid food so we can sit at the grown-ups table
yeah,
with you.
you
You
know,
know, we can figure out how to do that.
I feel so maybe you do this. How did you educate yourself?
Well, I mean, I think, I mean, well, I mean, I've had so many wonderful, patient, you know, invitational folks along the way that have said, you know, have been patient with me.
Every fucking white person that I ask that question to is just like, well, I just had people patient with me along the way.
Well, no, no, not just. I want to honor those people along my path who were also generous and willing to let me be in those spaces and be awkward and maybe not yet be at the place that I, you know, could be at the grown-ups table. And then I think that I think it's practice. It's just been practice, man. It's just been
Yeah,
practice, you know, and reading. I mean, reading the stories of Black and trans and people of color and Indigenous folks and women and you know all the different you know experiences where I want to go ask you something. I know that there's stories out there I can go to first, and I can't ask for your help or your perspective or your feedback until I have relationship with you
okay,
and you are
that,
getting
no,
more
no,
from
you
me than
said
I'm
it.
going to ask from
That's
you.
the meat of the chicken, the bean curd of the tofu. That is it. That is it. Maybe it's less about,
What?
maybe it's because we say educate yourself. That's maybe it's less about the education and more about the story. I wonder,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Of course I can't speak for all black people, but I think if a black person was asked, "Can you educate me?" they would be like, "Bitch, I'm tired." But I wonder if
Oh,
if a white person said to a black person, "Can you tell me your story?"
wow. Huh.
Wonder if that would be
Would
met
that
with a
be
different
different?
reaction.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'd love to ask around and see what that, you know, like what
Yeah,
folks think about that. I
'cause I could
also
always
wonder
share
if
my story, bitch.
yeah. Well,
There's
see me.
tons of white people stories. I am
Yeah.
to share my story. I want to share my story all the time. I may not
Yeah.
always want to educate, but I love
Yeah.
to share my story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's something real beautiful there. There's something really beautiful. Counterfeit Madison's amazing.